I'm only choosing to record this is because the word cap on comments really bugs me, and I have a lot of things to say, so decided to actually record a video instead of write down all my thoughts. Um, well, I guess might as well start off with the obvious thing. He's upset by it. Yeah, people are mature. And I just don't think celebrating anyone's death is just, respectful. I mean, it's really what it comes down to. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It's just like not something like you just needed, and it's just like I don't know. You wouldn't want your death celebrated. It's golden rule, really. I don't know. Pretty straightforward. Um, now, another thing is, I feel like some people would cry about Steve Jobs' death. I don't know. This is actually a bother for me. Just because there's a lot of celebrity over over emphasizing of good qualities on celebrities, and I think that may be happening to Steve Jobs also. Now, let's take a look at his actual products. Um, what he did was he actually redefined what a electronic is supposed to look like. Um, the electronics that we've basically had in the past have been clunky. They've been messy. They when you think of like a robot from the 50s, or like a computer, like just they weren't really that like Apple was the first people that made GUI, first graphical user interface, the mouse, the icons. Before that, it was all command line from what I remember learning in school. So, I mean, he brought that, and he brought the iPod, which pretty much just redefined the whole game plan, in terms of what people actually want, what people actually want from electronic. Before, I guess I feel like in some ways electronics in the past have been kind of fad oriented. People don't absolutely need a laptop. They don't need their own personal laptop. They don't need their own super computer. Um, but if they have a computer to load their music on, that's something that's nice to have. Like carrying around a laptop, it's not nice to have. Carrying around an iPod with, you know, all your favorite songs. I remember in high school I used to listen to Led Zeppelin almost every day. It was great times, and it really wouldn't have been as strongly established unless he really he he did it essentially. Yeah, I mean, like, the CD player was around, but I don't know. That was kind of it was kind of clunky, and it just wasn't as strong as a system as a very fresh, very clean looking iPod. The Macintosh, a very clean, very beautiful looking computer. Um, I know when I used to think of, when I think used to think of computers, I didn't think like I used to think like, well, I grew up in the '90s, so it's just like, what's the best way to put it? I guess Dell, the best way to put it. Not sleek looking, kind of just like it looks black, but and it kind of looks sleek, I guess. But when it comes down to it, it's a machine. Like, uh, basically what Apple did, it almost looks like water. It almost looks like melted plastic. Um, it doesn't look like a machine, and that's pretty unique. Basically, he had this he 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 collected this group of people and make it happen. Um, Now, whether he actually did those things, was he the mind behind it? Maybe not. Was he the marketing behind it? Maybe not. He has a lot of people that he also needs to recognize as actually helped him out, and he needs to he had a lot of people that worked under him. So he wasn't this he wasn't a Superman, I guess is the best way to put it. He didn't make all of this happen by himself. And there's a lot of idolization of celebrities and people with big names. They got to where they are, and but I strongly believe there comes a point in time where people need to consider, is the man that's on top that's making decisions, or is it the marketing team? Is it this? Is it that? You know, maybe it isn't this big person on top that's really making all decisions. Um, an example of this actually is, I remember going to a Web 2.0 conference in New York. I think it was like 2009, and Microsoft got on the stage and everyone kind of went quiet. They really weren't expecting much. Like nobody like I know I'm a website developer, and wherever I don't really like I don't like Internet Explorer. They make my job more of a hassle. I have to fix everything just to make sure that Internet Explorer has their happy little is happy with it. Sometimes I don't, and I feel bad about it. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that when she got on stage, she gave kind of a poor presentation. Now, I guess my question is not it's I guess on her part, is it's not about necessarily, was she a bad worker, but it's more like a situation where I'm wondering how much of the work is done by the people and how much is it done by the guy on top. um, Marketing choices, you know I feel like she did not initially plan to give that presentation, but it was given to her to give. All the pictures were given, all this were given, all that was given. Same thing, the every this that. But I question how much of it was actually him and how much was the people around. Now, understandable. It's sad. He, you know, especially when he has like financially he's well off. He doesn't have to worry about money, most likely for the rest of his life. Well, if his life would have been longer. And so that's a disappointment that he doesn't get to live out your like a full life. Um, he doesn't get to spend it with his family. I don't know if he has children. I don't know if he's gonna watch his children get married, grow up, get old themselves. I know my grandfather, is seeing my dad's gray hair right now, and that's beautiful. That's just one of those. It's one of those things. It's you grow up, you get old, and, but and so that I think should be recognized as something more sad than I don't know, overemphasis on someone's good qualities that may not even be their own. I guess the best way to put it. They may not be, Like Steve Jobs, I don't know him personally, but he may be a really rude, really mean, really cruel person. When it comes down to it, he may be that guy, but I wouldn't know because I never met him. But you know, so many people are gonna, people may cry over this. Like I respect the fact that you don't want to see anyone celebrate because there's really no need to. It's unethical. But more importantly, it's just like, why is this like a celebration? Like, why is this a good thing? like, it's sad. I don't know. Life is life. Life could be very sweet, and I don't think. I don't know. No one makes it a point to when they think about their life. I don't think they're thinking. Well, regardless, I just don't think it's something to celebrate. But also, I don't think it's something to be. It shouldn't be something like, what, we don't know this person. At least I don't know this person. So I'm personally not going to spend too much time thinking about Steve Jobs. I'm really not. I'm not going to be thinking about, oh man, what a great guy. Because I don't know him. I don't know if it was him or marketing. All I know is that he was the figurehead of a machine that ran very well. He was the figure of a machine that ran very well. Um, he made some outlandish comments about Java that I wasn't really too happy about, but he has a right to his opinion, and the fact of the matter is part of it is true. Java is I wouldn't say it is kind of an outdated language, but I think it's very important language, and that it should make a bigger comeback because it has a lot of potential. Just the fact that it's made to be cross everything compatible. Um, but I really don't think that I don't think it's right to like celebrate, but it's also not. I don't think we should necessarily, you know, cry for days after his passing. A lot of people die. A lot of people die. If there was a bum on the street, would you cry for him? Like, even though Steve Jobs got where he is and made a lot of money and a lot of people happy, and this that, I also we don't know how much of it is his team, how much of it is this, how much is that, and how much is him actually doing the work. And so I really don't. I kind of I want him to, if he's a hero, you know, I feel like he should be remain more as a unsung hero because um, I think a real hero is something like Martin Luther King, Gandhi. Those are real heroes. Um, I mean, Steve Jobs is basically a really smart guy that made, that was the head of a really strong company. He made a lot of money and made a lot of product that people were happy with the initial moment they bought it, and then some of them have their batteries die or this or that, but that's sort of the status quo for most computers. Well, most certain computers. But I just think that it's important to recognize: are we talking about a really great man, or are we talking about just a person that did well, did well in life? Now, I'm not saying celebrate, but just also not saying like don't don't